Hello guys, today we are going to learn validation controls in ASP.NET. As we know, validation is one of the important part in any programming language or any web application. So it avoids or it prevents the user to enter any useless data, or it also helps the developer to validate the data before sending it to the server. As ASP.NET or .NET Framework provides a rich set of validation controls. So now we are going to discuss validation controls in ASP.NET. For this, just open our previously developed web application where we will add one more form and will provide all the validation controls in one form as a demonstration purpose. So for this, uh, from Solution Explorer, just add another web page by right clicking on Solution Explorer, select Add New Item and add one web form. Rename this web form as we can say validation demo. Enable select master page checkbox and click on add button. Select the master page and click on OK button. Again the same process. Click on design and under this control content placeholder enter the table. So from table menu select insert table and enter number of rows 20 and column say 5. Click on OK button. So as ASP.NET has provided around 6 validation controls, out of which one is validation summary. So we'll start discussing one by one. For this, you can find out a tag from toolbox that is validation, where you will find different validation controls. So these validation controls are compare validator, custom validator, range validator, regular expression validator, required field validator. These are the 5 fundamental validation controls, and the summary of all the validator is nothing but a validation summary. We will discuss these validation controls one by one. So first is compare validator. As its name suggests, to compare two controls. For example, suppose password and confirm password. In this case, password and confirm password, both the password must be same. So this is nothing but a comparison. So for a demonstration purpose, we'll consider password and confirm password. So drag one text box for password and another text box for confirm password. I will write as password and this is confirm password. As we know, both the password must be same. So here change the text property of password text box and make it as txt password. For password, change one more property, that is text mode, from single line to make it password. Similarly, for confirm password, change id property to txt confirm password and change text mode single line to password. Now we'll apply compare validator on these two text boxes. For this, just drag compare validator where you want to show show the error if occurs. So I will just drag this and drop it in the third column. Uh, the most important properties of this validation controls are: first, for any validation controls, you must have to change the property control to validate. So in this case, we are going to validate confirm password. Another important property is control to compare. We are going to compare this with txt password. So this is second property. Third property, you can change the error message. So as we know, you can write it as both the password must be same. After this, you can change the color of error if occurs. So I will change the color that is 4 color. By default it is black. You can change it to red. Okay. Then operators, as both the password must be equal, so keep the operator equal. You can choose another operator in another cases. Operator and type, as password is a combination of character, numbers as well as special characters. So collaboratively or jointly you can keep it as a string only. So these are the important properties of compare validator. Now for this I will just drag, or I will just consider one button. Once a user click on this button, all the errors if applicable will display. So I will just keep it as, even no need to click on submit button. Once a user enters into the text box, it will automatically give an error. Here, to execute this, to execute a specific page, you can just right click on particular page, right click. Here, either if you want to change the browser, or you can change the default browser to any another browser, then you have to just select browse with and choose a different browser. In this case I have only one browser, Internet Explorer, but I want to add Google Chrome that is already installed on my machine. So you can choose this by click on add and select the shortcut from in most of the cases you don't have to follow these steps. Automatically .NET will create a shortcut for all the browsers installed on your machine. So just click on OK button, then click on browse button. The web page will be displayed in Google Chrome. Here I will enter password as 123, then click on tab. Now I have entered password as 4567. Again just move to the next control or click on tab button. It will display an error, means both password are not matching. So now again I'll just, my password is 123, and in text box confirm password I will again enter as 123. Now in this case it will not display an error. So this is how we can use confirm password. So for operator equal we have used confirm password. In the same way you can use confirm password, you can use compare validator for a different purpose. For example, total marks and obtained marks. So for total marks I will drag one control, that is obviously text box, and for obtained password one more control, that is another text box. Change the ID properties for the first text box to txt total marks, and for obtained marks change ID property to txt obtained marks. Here, as we know, obtained marks must be less than or equals to total marks. Now for this I will use, here spaces are not allowed, txt obtained marks. Again the same process, just from validation tab drag compare validator and keep in front of obtained marks. It depends on you where you want to display your errors. So in the same way, first important property is control to validate. So for control to validate, we are going to validate control obtained marks. Then we are compare obtained marks with total marks. Second property. Third property, error message. Write error message obtained marks must be less than total marks. In the same way, you can change for color, make it as red. So once an error occurs, it will display in highlighted. It will be visible easily to the user. Here operator, yes, operator, as we know, obtained marks must be less than equals to, so change it as equal to, less than equal, and here you can change the type string to integer. So marks are in integer format, so change the type from string to integer. Again the same process, right click on web page, browse with, just you have to save before executing this program. Now select the browser. You can make a particular browser as set as default, so next time we don't have to select every time. Now click on browse button. Once a page is displayed, enter total marks, suppose 100, and obtained marks. By mistake, if I entered more than 100, 102, it will display an error. So as per our validation, mark must be less than equals to 100. 100 marks are valid and less than 100 marks are valid. So this is how we can use compare validators. So this is the first validator. Then second validator is custom validator. Second validator is custom validator. We'll discuss about this validator at the end of this video. After this, I will just focus on range validator. Range validator, as its name suggests, to specify or to validate the range. For example, I want to check the range of a particular age. So take age as one of the field. For this, to enter age will be entered by the user, and for this provide text box, change id property txt age, and we want to apply validation to the control age. Here just drag range validator in front of age control. As we know, first property is control to validate, so change control to validate, that is txt age. Second property is error message. Now I want to accept only age between 20 to 30. So error message will be age must in between 20 to 30. So users are not allowed to enter an age more than 30 and less than 20. So this is the error message. Again, change the fore color and make it to the red. Here you must have to provide maximum value and minimum value. In our case, minimum value is nothing but 20 and maximum value is 30, to provide a range between 20 to 30. After this, you don't have to change any other properties of this control, that is range validator. Just save the changes and now just enter an age. Initially I will just enter invalid age, that is more than 35. It will display an error. Even it will display error if the age value is less than 20. Again it will display an error. But if I enter a range in the range 20 to 30, so it will accept the range of the age 20 to 30. So this is the range validator, to provide a range. Okay, now the third validator is a regular expression. For this, for example, I want to validate the control for email. So as we know, regular expression is basically used for pattern recognition or pattern matching. Here for email there is a specific pattern where username, a symbol @, then name of the service provider, after type of user, that is .com, .co, .in, and so on. So this is a pattern for email. In the same way, we can use regular expression for various patterns. So initially, we'll start with using regular expression validator for email. For this, just drag a control, that is text box, from toolbox in front of email, change their property text to txt email, and just apply the regular expression validator. Just drag a regular expression validator in front of email id, and like other validator, you have to change the various properties, and out of these properties, first property is control to validate. Change control to validate property to txt email. Second property, error message, so write a specific error message, invalid email id. Then third property is for color, change it to color red. And the most important property for this validator is validation expression. So initially we'll just apply for email id. For email id, there is a inbuilt regular expression is available. So you have to just click on these three dots, click on these three dots, and for email address, just select internet email address. .NET Framework will automatically create a validation expression for email address. Now just click on OK button. Now this will accept an email ID only in particular format only. Just execute this page and type any invalid email ID. So I have just typed my name and click on tab button. It will give an error. Just type @ symbol. Again, it will not accept. We have to provide service provider, after service provider name dot and type of the user. So in this format only you can insert your email ID. Now only it will accept an email ID. So this is the way how we can validate email address. So you can create your customized regular expression also. For this you can apply various symbols provided by .NET Framework. So we'll discuss about these options one by one. Just now I will explain each of these pattern recognition formulas or concepts one by one. First is to mention the digits only. You can use /t. It will accept only digits. It for a single digit only. If you specify, here I will mention digit. If you mention /D, it will accept all the characters other than digit. So I will say as non-digit. In the same way, if you mention /W, it will accept only alphabets, that is A to Z, in capital A to Z. Remember, there is a every alphabet is a character, but every character is not an alphabet. So it will accept only alphabets and digits also. It will accept alphabets and digits. In the same way, for capital W, alphabets and it non-digits. So non-alphabets and non-digits means it will accept only special characters. So it will not accept alphabets as well as digits. Then if you mention /s, it accepts only white space character. So white space characters are tab and space symbol. And similarly, for capital S, non-white space character. Non-white space character. So non-white space character, any characters other than space and tab, it will accept non-white space character. Similarly, if you want to make a group of multiple characters, then you can specify those characters by using round brackets. So if you mention in bracket AB, for AB it will consider only a single character. So you have to enter both the characters sequentially. So such kind of formula is used basically used for uh, mobile numbers, that is plus 91. So plus symbol 9 and 1. The group of these three characters will be considered or will be treated as a single character. So for perform a group, you can, or to derive a group or to mention a group, use round brackets. Similarly, you can specify a range of characters. To specify a range of characters, you can make use of square brackets. Here, if you mention small a dash c, which means it will accept only small letters A, B and C. Similarly, if you want to provide facility of capital letters, small letters as well as capital letters, just mention capital A dash capital C. So it will accept only small letters A, B, C, capital letters A, capital B and C. So in the same way, you can give any range. Then if you want a user should enter a minimum characters or maximum characters. Basically, most of the times we use such kind of facility for password. So you might have seen most of the password must be entered between 6 to 8 characters or 6 to 10 characters. So you are not allowed to enter password less than 6 characters and less than 10 characters. Such kind of facility can be provided by using these curly brackets where you have to pass two parameters. So I will say m comma n. So m is the minimum number and n is the maximum number. So in this case, if I mention 6 comma 10, 6 comma 10 means it will accept minimum 6 characters but maximum 10 characters. After this, plus symbol, it indicates one or it accepts one or more characters. And similarly, star accepts 0 or more characters. So we'll apply all these facilities for different kind of controls. I will take now mobile number. Okay, as we know, mobile number must contain only 10 digits. So it should not accept less than 10 characters and more than 10 characters. Or these characters are accept only digits. So it must accept only digits of 10, or we can say it must accept only 10 digits. So for this, we have dragged just one text box and make id property to txt mobile. No any other property should be changed, or there is no need to change any other property. For this, just drag regular expression. Again, first important property is to change control to validate. Select txt mobile, then change error message invalid mobile number. Third property, change for color and make it as red. And validation expression, here mobile number is nothing but only digit, so for only digit we can use /d. So if you mention just a single /d, it will accept only a single digit only, but mobile number is of 10 digits, so we can make use of curly bracket, that is 10 comma 10, which indicates minimum 10 characters and maximum 10 characters, means it will accept only a mobile number of 10 digits. So to check this, save this program and just execute this program. Now just enter a invalid mobile number or less than 10 characters. So I have just mentioned 1 2 3 4. Now I will enter a 10-digit mobile number. Now it won't display any error. Even after if you try to enter more than 10 characters, again it will display an error. So which means it will accept only the mobile number of 10 digits. So this is how we can validate our TXT mobile control. In the same way, we can apply the we can apply the regular expression for other controls also. For example, I will take pin number. So usually pin number is a group of 6 digits. So for this, in the just like mobile number, take one text box, change the property to txt pin, and for this just drag regular expression validator in front of pin. First property, control to validate, select txt pin, error message, invalid pin number or pin code, for color change to red, and validation expression is like a slash d curly bracket 6 comma 6. So it will accept only 6 digit. Okay, save this program and execute. So it will not accept any character other than digit. It will accept digit, but there must be only 6 digit. So this is how we can provide facility of regular expression to the pin code. After this, the next validator is required field validator. We know most of the times it is necessary, or you might have seen the star in front of a specific uh, control, so which indicates uh, these fields are compulsory. So without these fields you are not allowed to submit your form. So now I have considered a name. For this, provide facility to accept the input by the user by considering the text, change id property to txt name, and I want to make it compulsory to enter a name. So for this, just drag required field validator. For required field validator, again first property, control to validate txt name, and then change error message to name is compulsory. So user are not allowed to submit without entering the name. For color to the red, save this form and execute. So after this, once I start or once I try to submit the field without entering the name, it will display an error, name is compulsory. Now you can just enter the name and click on submit button. Now it will now you are allowed to click on submit button, or even the record will get submitted. Obviously, for you have to write a code for submit. So this is how we can provide this validation. The last the last remaining validation control is custom validator. Usually we can almost cover all the facilities by using 4 validator, but uh, more than this you can use another validator, that is custom validator. uh, Custom validator is basically used for a special kind of special kind of facilities. For example, I want to provide a facility to the user to enter only even numbers. So I will consider, or I will take even number. I am expecting a user should enter only even numbers. So we know even number is a number which is divisible by 2 and which returns 0 once you divided by 2. Text box, change id property to txt even number and apply custom validator. Similarly, from toolbox, drag custom validator in front of this control. Then change first property, control to validate, select txt even number. Second, change error message, please enter even number only. For color, red. And to here you have to you can write a code for even number only. So just double click on this validator, and event will be generated. That event is nothing but custom validator server validate. So whatever you enter in the text box will consider as argument for this event. So first I will consider, or I will declare an variable by uh, int number. So convert to integer and accept this number from args dot value. So value will be considered from argument value variable. So whatever the input entered by user will be assigned to the variable number. Now I want to check if number mod 2 equal to 0 means this is an even number. So then only the argument is valid, otherwise argument is valid equals to false. Execute this program. Enter odd number. Please enter even number only. Now this is odd number. Enter even number. Now it will accept your number. So this is the way you can write validation for even number. In the same way, whatever you can write your own code for any kind of any special numbers or any special input string which you accept, which you want to accept by the user. So whatever you want to write, just consider whatever the user enters will be considered as an argument, and on this variable you have to work upon. So these are the validation controls used in the ASP.NET. And last one, validation summary. Basically, this is not a type of validation, but it shows a validation summary of all the errors. So if you observe, without this, just execute this program and try to display some or most of the errors. So again, I will enter password, mismatch password, total marks 50, obtained marks 60. So you must be observing that the error are displayed at various locations. So if your form contains maximum fields or most of the fields, it becomes difficult to display all the errors on a page only. In this scenario, we have considered only limited fields, so there is no problem. But if your form consists more than 50, 60 controls, then it becomes difficult to display all the errors at different locations. So for this, you can display all the errors at one location only, and this facility can be provided by using validation summary. For this, you don't have to write any code, just drag this validation summary where you want to display all the errors, and now save this program and execute. So again, just enter password and mismatch password. So total marks and try to submit. So you must be observing that once you click on submit button, it will, in this case, it will display all the errors as a summary at the end of the page. Here, the errors I have displayed at two locations. That is, the first time where we had dragged our controls, and in the second case as a validation summary. You can hide the errors which has displayed in front of controls, and you can display errors only at the end of the page. So to hide these errors, you have to change property of each validation controls. That is, the property is nothing but mode, that is static mode. So just change for compare validator, select display static to none. So by default it is static, change it to none. Similarly for all the validators, this is compare validator, change display property static to none. For edge, that is range validator, select display property static to none. In the same way, you have to change the properties of all the validator controls. So what will happen? It will display error as a validation summary only. It will not display the error in front of specific controls. Just execute this code and now enter invalid password. Total. You must have observed that it is not displaying an error. And now click on submit button. Similarly for, we have not changed the property for name, so it is displaying in front of this control. But now just click on submit button. It is displaying all the errors as a summary at the end of the page. So this is the way how you can provide validations to a web page developed using ASP.NET. Thank you.